Dyer's Daily.
It's fair to say that growing up as a kid in the 90s, I did seem to like old films about cars that did very unusual things. I'm not sure I've ever mentioned this before, but one of my favourite films of all time is Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. And no matter how much ridicule I receive, I still think of that musical as one of the greatest pieces of film to ever grace celluloid, and possibly Dick Van Dyke's greatest performance. The other film that I grew up watching a lot as a kid was basically the last in a series, and as I find out, possibly the worst. But there's still a little bit of me that pines for that nostalgia of watching this as a kid and being amazed by the things that happen, despite the fact that in context it's very stupid. Herbie Goes Bananas is a 1980 comedy adventure film and the fourth installment of the Love Bug film series made by Walt Disney Productions, starring Herbie, the white Volkswagen Beetle, with a mind of its own. That's the last time I read off of Wikipedia. But yeah, I loved this movie growing up. I had no idea who any of the people were. I didn't know who Cloris Leachman was or Harvey Korman. I had no idea. I just loved the idea of this car coming to life and getting into a bull ring and facing a bad guy who, to me, looked a little bit like Roger Moore. Yeah, you go and watch it, you'll see what I mean. But the fact I knew who Roger Moore was, wow. But this movie, as silly as it is, as daft as it is, and really it's come out much too late. It's 1980 when it's released. And they've already made three movies by this point. You know, Monte Carlo and the original The Love Bug, and one that escapes me. The Love Bug I've seen a couple of times since, and I think I prefer it, mainly because of Buddy Hackett. I think his performance in that is great. It just works as a movie, and it introduces everything, and I think maybe that's what this fourth edition is missing. It's missing a bit of Dean Jones and Buddy Hackett action. It's probably best that it was the last one. But for me, that music at the end is always going to have a sentimental place to me. It just reminds me of childhood, of the past, especially with kids singing. So, yeah, I may watch it again someday for nostalgic reasons. It isn't my favourite anymore, but I still have a nostalgia for it. It's great. Go and watch it. It's on Disney Plus right now. Herbie Goes Bananas.
Dyer's Daily.